friend, this is much bigger than it seems. Heavy information has just come out straight from behind the scenes at the NFL, and it's leaving the entire Raider Nation in total shock. A powerful league source revealed on Pat McAfee's show that Pete Carroll's job isn't even close to being safe. That's right, the coach hired to turn the franchise around may be on shaky ground before even completing his first season in Las Vegas. And worse, things are only getting worse. After the humiliating loss to the Browns and the series of firings within the coaching staff, the situation is completely out of control. Schefter spilled the beans live, and what he said made it clear that nobody, absolutely nobody, is safe within the organization right now. Hold on tight, because I'm going to reveal exactly what happened, why this crisis exploded like this, and what the real consequences are for the coach's future. But first, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because what I'm about to tell you, nobody else is showing. The Las Vegas Raiders will continue to struggle with an identity crisis in 2025, and head coach Pete Carroll's situation is becoming increasingly uncertain. With a 2-9 record after a frustrating loss to the Cleveland Browns, who already have more losses than wins, 3-8, the pressure on the franchise has never been higher. In a recent appearance on the Pat McAfee show, renowned ESPN journalist Adam Schefter made a bombshell revelation. Nobody within the organization is safe, including Pete Carroll himself. And this revelation couldn't have come at a more critical time for the team. Since his hiring as head coach, Pete Carroll's name has been met with great expectation. Recognized for his success with the Seattle Seahawks, where he led the team to a Super Bowl and had a history of stability, many believed he would be the man to transform the Raiders into a serious contender. However, the results so far have been frustrating. After the surprising defeat against the Browns, the Raiders found themselves in an uncomfortable position, occupying last place in the AFC West and without a playoff win since 2003. The situation only worsened with the recent changes in the coaching staff. Carroll, previously known for keeping his coaching staff intact throughout his years in Seattle, fired 2 coordinators in less than 2 weeks, the special teams coordinator and, more recently, Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator. These moves radicalize Carroll's stance, which already seemed fragile. For many, this drastic change raises the question, does Carroll still have control of the situation, or is he also on the verge of being fired? It's important to note that this scenario isn't just about disastrous results on the field. There's a widespread feeling that time isn't living up to expectations, and that Carroll's decisions, so far, haven't been effective in reviving the team's momentum. Adam Schefter, in his analysis, made it clear that the coordinator dismissals indicate a lack of confidence in some of the franchise's choices. With losses piling up and team morale plummeting, it's clear the Raiders' future is far from secure. If the Raiders can't turn things around in the coming weeks, the franchise may be limited in making even bolder decisions. Will Pete Carroll be able to change the team's fate, or will he be just another big name who passed through the organization without leaving a lasting legacy? For fans, it remains to be seen how far the changes will go and if the coach will be able to reclaim his reward and, with it, the fans' hope. While Carroll struggles to establish himself, the pressure has begun to directly affect his coaching staff. Chip Kelly's appointment as offensive coordinator was a first major change, showing that no one in the organization is immune to the crisis. What does this mean for the immediate future of the team? The decision to fire Chip Kelly, the Raiders' offensive coordinator, after a historic operational collapse, was one of the boldest moves made by the franchise in 2025. Kelly, who had been hired with a multi-million-dollar contract of $18 million guaranteed, failed to make the team perform as expected. With an offense that was devastating throughout the season and a disastrous performance against the Cleveland Browns, where quarterback Geno Smith was sacked 10 times, the patience of the front office and coach Pete Carroll ran out. The impact of this move cannot be underestimated. Chip Kelly, before his time with the Raiders, already had a well-known name in the NFL, with stints in the NFL and in colleges, especially with the Oregon Ducks and the Philadelphia Eagles. His philosophy of fast-paced play with many open offense plays seemed like an innovative solution for the Las Vegas era. However, in practice, Kelly's system did not fit well in the current NFL landscape, mainly due to the lack of a solid offensive line and the refusal to prioritize the running game. The Raiders' offense became one of the most ineffective in the league, resulting in a performance below expectations. Even with some injuries on the offensive line and problems protecting the quarterback, criticism of Kelly grew, both from players and analysts. Former players like Richie Incognito didn't hesitate to publicly criticize Kelly's offensive scheme, calling it a complete mess. For many, the coordinator's failure to adapt to the needs of the time was one of the main reasons for his departure. Now, the responsibility falls to Greg Olsen, the quarterback's coach, who assumes the role of interim offensive coordinator. Olsen, who brings more than 2 decades of NFL experience, has the chance to change the Raiders' fate. His mission is to stabilize the offense, give the time a new identity, and above all, assess the potential of Geno Smith, the starting quarterback, and rookie Ashton Jeanty, a running back chosen in the early rounds of the draft. If Olsen manages to stabilize the offense, he could become a permanent option for the load. Carroll, for his part, has already shown himself willing to make radical changes, which raises the question of what the next step for the franchise will be. With such a daunting situation, the hope now is that Kelly's mission could be the turning point for the Raiders. Will a change of coordinator have an immediate effect, or will it be yet another failed attempt to conform to the franchise's rumors? The change of course within the Raiders is underway, and now it remains to be seen whether the new era will be more successful. The Raiders' quarterback position has never been more contested than in 2025. Geno Smith, signed with the promise of being the key piece to stabilize the offense, failed to deliver what was expected of him. His underwhelming performance, 2,367 meters, 13 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions, cast doubt on his future as the franchise's quarterback. Now, with a 2-9 season record and a heavy loss against the Cleveland Browns, the Raiders are beginning to reconsider their quarterback choice for the future. The franchise had high confidence in Smith at the start of the season. Before he even thought about playing a game for the Raiders, the team had already offered him a 2-year, $75 million contract extension, but the expectation did not materialize. What seemed to be stabilizing the quarterback position turned into a major concern, with Smith failing to deliver consistency and quality in games. His disappointing performance not only affected the Raiders on the field, but also directly impacted the decisions of other members of the coaching staff, resulting in Chip Kelly's mission. Now, the franchise is considering alternatives for the future, including the possibility of selecting Ty Simpson, quarterback from Alabama, in the 2026 draft. Simpson, who excelled in his first season as a starter, has shown impressive skills, 22 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions in 2025. The young quarterback is considered one of the biggest prospects in his class and has attracted the attention of the Raiders, who may see him as a solution to revitalize the quarterback position. However, Smith, after a difficult season, would have a significant impact on the Raiders' salary cap, with over $18 million in costs to be absorbed. This makes the decision even more complicated, as the franchise would have to weigh between keeping Smith for another season or taking a risk with a new quarterback. If the Raiders don't believe Simpson is a solution, the team may try to trade the draft pick to secure more options and greater capital in the future. With Pete Carroll facing an uncertain future, Chip Kelly being fired after an offensive collapse, and Geno Smith failing to meet expectations, will the Raiders be able to reverse this crisis and find a solution to rebuild the franchise in 2026? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Raiders news.